get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Hey tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good today. So I'm back with another story. I want to talk about the David situation. A lot of you guys have been requesting that I talk about this. So let me keep it real first and foremost. I have never heard of David before this. I didn't know who he was. I wasn't familiar with his music. But I remember about a week and a half ago, my mom had called me and was like, do you know this singer David? He was in Minneapolis and they're saying that they found a body in his car. And I'm like, damn, mom, you spilling the tea now? Like, because I had no idea, because y'all know I've been sick and stuff. So, you know, so we're just catching up. And I'm like, David, I'm like, I've never heard of that person. She's like, he spells his name with a 4. And I'm like, a 4? So, you know, she was like, yeah, he was in Minneapolis performing, but they found a body in his car in LA. You know, have you heard about this? And I'm like, no. So then I went to go look on it further, and he was in Minneapolis playing that same day. And what was so crazy is that at his concert in Minneapolis, he was throwing out Labubu dolls. So check this out. So as you guys see here, it says singer David gave away Labubus from the stage in Minneapolis. The same day a body was found inside a car registered to him. Now, if you guys have not watched my Labubu dolls video, please do. I think they're demonic. And I bought a lot of receipts as to why. So it's very interesting that he was throwing out Labubus the same day this body was found in his car. And let me go ahead and show you guys the video because it's all over Twitter.
Who got it? Okay, W. Okay, y'all want some booze. Don't worry, that's not the last thing I'm gonna throw out. That's some more stuff.
So you guys just saw that. So I find that very interesting that he was throwing out those demonic Labubu dolls the same day a body was found in his car. So anyways, the news also talks about it. And so it's been so many connections that have come out in the past 9 days, okay? And I went down a rabbit hole of this David, and he's a really, he's like a conflicted Christian / very, very dark individual, okay? So David rose to fame by basically, he's a streamer, and he would be like, you know, doing streams to like up and coming songs and remixing them and stuff like that. Like I said, I've never heard this young man's music until now, but there's a lot of really dark connections because initially they did not know whose body was in the car. They didn't know if it was a man or a woman, but then come to find out as of 2 days ago, the body in the car is that of a 14-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas. She has been missing since she was 13 years old. She lives in Lake Illinois, California, which is in the Inland Empire, if you know about Cali and LA and all that stuff. So she's from the Inland Empire, and so she was 13 years old, and her family has not seen her in a year, okay? So when she left her home, she was 13. She would have turned 14 within that year. Now that her body has been found, she'd be going on to her 15th birthday. So a lot of people were shook that somebody that young was found in his car. And the way that it was found is that the car had been on the street for a while, and people, you know, had been seeing this Tesla just parked out there day in, day out. And so they asked that it be towed. And they towed it to the tow yard, and when they towed it, they could just smell something very awful. So who knows how long this body had been in the car, but they smelled something, they called the police, and that's when they found the dismembered body of Celeste. So we're going to go ahead and watch the news clip right now.
New details are coming into our newsroom about the missing girl found dead in singer David's Tesla. We now know police have searched a home in the Hollywood Hills where David had been living.
Eyewitness News reporter Monica DeAnda joins us live from Hollywood with the very latest. Monica.
Colleen, Phillip, good morning. Take a look here behind me. This home is where David was living, although he does not own the home. LAPD investigators served a search warrant here last night, collecting evidence. Right now, however, this is only being called a death investigation and not a homicide, and we're told that is because the LA County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to determine how exactly this teen girl died. We now know the body found inside the front trunk of a Tesla at a Hollywood tow yard belonged to 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. The car where she was found registered to David Anthony Burke, a 20-year-old singer who goes by David. Take a look. This video shows crime scene investigators carrying out a laptop and other items from this home on Doheny Place as possible evidence connected to the missing teen's disappearance and death. Police remaining very tight-lipped about the investigation, but we now know this home is where the singer was staying. One neighbor we spoke to remembers seeing that distinct Tesla for a while. First, parked in front of the house police searched, and then at two different spots along the street.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it. So all a little odd, but at the same time, you know, people could be hanging out with friends for, you know, prolonged time.
The victim, 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, was first reported missing from Lake Elsinore in early 2024. Eyewitness News learned she ran away a few times and returned before her last runaway in April of 2024. The teen had not been heard from since until September 8th, when the authorities discovered her body inside of that Tesla.
She just seemed very lively and friendly. I just hope that the truth comes out and she gets justice for what happened to her.
And lots of questions still remain, including how the victim and David knew each other. Now, investigators are still working to piece together exactly what happened, but we are also learning that a new song was leaked online that's by the artist titled Celeste, and that is now circulating online. So that's going on, as well as detectives continuing to figure out how exactly this girl died and what happened. But in terms of the artist, he is in the middle of a tour. We know he was continuing his performances up until yesterday when he canceled his show in Seattle. He does have another one scheduled here in Los Angeles at the Greek Theater for Saturday. No word yet on whether or not that show will be canceled. Live in Hollywood, Monica de Anda, ABC 7.
Charles, it's good to have you. Do we know how long Celeste's body was in that Tesla?
That is a big question at this point, Ashley. What we do know is that the car was impounded on the 5th of September. The police discovered the body in the Tesla on the 8th of September. Now, we also know that the car had been abandoned on that street in the Hollywood Hills for at least 3 days before it was impounded. We've also spoken to neighbors in that area who said that there were people who had walked by the car and had noticed a bad odor, and that they kind of thought it was either a dead animal somewhere, either under the car or near the car. But when they called the police to report this car abandoned, they didn't mention the odor. They just thought it was a dead animal somewhere in the area. And then, of course, the police had the car in the impound yard for a couple of days before suddenly someone there was like, yeah, there's something off here. And that's when they opened that front hatch on the Tesla and found the bag with the body parts.
And they call that the frunk, if I'm not mistaken, in the front of the Tesla. It's like the trunk in the front, so to speak. But that's a really good point of forensic interest, that there was someone who noticed something that didn't smell right when the car was abandoned on that California street. So that would indicate that the body was in there probably prior to the impound lot. Are they able to determine how Celeste died at this point?
The medical examiner has said that the cause of death is deferred. Meaning they have not been able to figure it out at this point, and there's going to be further toxicology testing. It may just be that, remember, you know, what was put in that bag, the body had been dismembered, and maybe they don't have enough at this point to positively say this was the cause of death. It sounds weird to say they don't have a cause of death because, look, it's LAPD robbery homicide that is investigating. The body being dismembered would lead one to believe that this is a homicide, but they just don't have that forensically yet. They can't say for sure what the cause of death is.
And not to be too graphic, but it's important for the investigation and obviously for the autopsy as well. She was not found in her complete, her complete body wasn't found. These were parts. And if I'm not mistaken, was it a head and a torso and that's it?
Yeah, there was also, there were, I don't want this, you're right, this is just very grisly to say, but I don't know if they had all the limbs. They certainly had some of them because the police did say that she had this tattoo, which is very interesting, something we found out, but she had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the letters SHHH ... And that was on her right index finger. We had actually spoken to Celeste's mother last week. And at that point, the police had said that the tattoo was there, but the mom told us more information, which the police had not released, which was that the tattoo was in red ink.
All right, so you guys just heard what TMZ had to say. So not only was the tattoo in red ink, the tattoo is very similar to the one that Rihanna has on her finger, you know, a few years ago when all the celebrities were going around with shh on their finger. And the mother also said that this 13-year-old girl with a tattoo had a matching tattoo like her boyfriend, David. She said she knew that her daughter had a boyfriend named David. A lot of things bother me with that. First of all, why does your 13-year-old have a tattoo? I don't care if it's something as simple as the word shh or a full arm sleeve. Last time I checked, it's illegal for 13-year-olds to have tattoos unless somebody did that to them. They legally can't walk into a tattoo shop, especially without parents' permission, and get a tattoo. So my thing is, who was tattooing this little girl? And it seemed like there was a lot of freedom. This, young child was able to just kind of come and go. I don't know if the mom just was not, was on drugs or just not taking care of her. But it seemed like this young girl had known David from the rabbit hole I gone down. She had known David since she was about 11. And she was able to kind of just come and go as she wanted. She's getting tattoos. She's hanging out with a boy. Like, she shouldn't even have a boyfriend at 13. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that if the mom knew that she had a boyfriend, I'm sure she knew the boyfriend was older, that this was not another 13-year-old. So the whole thing is just really, really disturbing, when you go down this rabbit hole. Now, what's also interesting is a lot of people on Reddit have been talking about this. So I found this Reddit thread where this young man, before anything ever came out of Celeste, he was saying that David was a well-known pedo around that area. People knew that he liked young girls, and he was paying kids off not to say anything that him and Celeste were dating. So I'm going to read this to you guys. Now, remember, this was before any of this came out. So the man who's talking, or the young person who's talking, is calling the girl C, because at that point they weren't sure if this missing girl was Celeste. So let me go ahead and pull this up. All right, so you guys see the Reddit thread here. So let me read this to you. And this was 9 days ago, so before anybody knew the body in the trunk. So the person says, this guy is a pedophile from what I've heard. My sister, who is now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader. Let's call her C. And she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out C's friends knew, and he would pay them to keep their mouth shut. C had been missing for over a month now. No one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange going on. So let me show y'all this picture. Do y'all see this picture? That is David. Remember this hat. This hat is very important. I'm zooming in. Remember this black and pink hat. He has money in his hands, and he's paying some kids off. Okay? And it says, this is the pic bro showed me. I'm not capping. So now, let's move on to once they find out that Celeste is the body in the car. This was 2 days ago. They said, sorry for the late reply. I'm sure the police have been involved. I don't know the full details of C's life. It seemed to me that she had a broken home, life/family, because the way my sister put it, she never wanted to be home and was always out. Seems like the parent relationship wasn't there. I'm not sure if he's still paying or not. I can ask my sister and get back to you. Editor asked my sister. She said she isn't sure, but I saw news articles of the picture of the girl, and my sister confirmed that it is indeed C. Second edit. This is a news article. Her name was Celeste, but I used C just in case it wasn't her, but this confirms it. So he comes back and he says, I'm not sure if this poster is real, but this is also a real photo of the missing poster from a year ago. My friend posted it in her stories in June. Now you can tell this poster had been kind of out there. The date says June 14th, 2024, missing, and that is Celeste's picture. Age 13, height 5'3", Celeste Rivas. Weight 120 pounds, Lake Elsinore, California. Okay? So then he goes on to say, yes, she was missing for that long officially, but she still had friends who were in contact with her. So what they're saying is she ran away from her mother's home over a year ago, but she was still alive and, keeping in contact with her friends. Again, I'm not sure what her family life is like. It seemed very broken to me, which makes me believe she didn't want to go back home. What I meant was my sister and her friends lost contact with her for over a month since early or mid-August. I'm not too sure. Then they say my sister was talking to one of the people who was paid off. That person said they can't talk about it anymore. I'm assuming they are now talking to the police and helping with the investigation. Then they say, I haven't because somebody had asked them a question. They say, I haven't because I'm just the person receiving this information from my sister who goes to the same high school that Celeste should have went to with her friends go to. My sister knows the name of the girls who were paid. I can ask them, but I'm not sure if I should share that information on here. So as you see, that was written, the initial post was 9 days ago. Once they confirmed it was her, that person came back and did a follow-up. So now, pictures of David and Celeste have been popping up on the internet. People are talking about this on TikTok. So let me show you a few pictures of David and Celeste. So I want y'all to see this picture. Remember I told y'all to pay attention to that hat? The hat where he was paying them kids? Remember this hat right here? So now let's go back to Twitter. Look at the hat that she's wearing. This is at 3:51 in the morning. What is a 13-year-old doing out at 3:51 in the morning? Okay? She's wearing his hat. They're wearing matching glasses, hoodies, looking like boyfriend and girlfriend. Somebody had sent this to David. And it says here, Celeste and David won't let me sleep. We're going to look at some more pictures. Here goes another picture, and this was on his Discord. And somebody asks him, they're like, this is from 2023. So in 2023, this girl would have been 12 years old because she was 13 when she went missing in 2024. So she'd have been 12 years old. So somebody says, hey, who's the girl? His response is, you are a Fed. Why is that your first response if you've done nothing wrong? Why would you assume that your Discord audience is thinking, why would you think that they're the Feds? Unless you have a girl who you know shouldn't be there. Because at this point, you're over age. You're over the age of 18. She's 12. And mind you, people are saying that he met her when she was 11 years old. So in this caption, you can see it. This is from July 4th, so the 4th of July of 2024, and he says, I miss her. This is insane. And he has a Hello Kitty phone case. What grown man is walking around with Hello Kitty? Here he says, me if I see her talk to other dudes. And he's chopping up meat. Very, very disturbing. He reposted this. So somebody else posted this and he reposted it. Because people are saying on the internet that supposedly Celeste, at 13 years old, had a side guy named Gus. And allegedly they're saying that Gus is missing too, possibly murdered. So this is awesome, like teenage Discord shit. My grown ass done went down this whole rabbit hole. I mean, these kids are dating grown folks. Grown folks are coming after the kids. There's kids missing. And this is the rabbit hole with this story is so disturbing. Here he posts another retweet. He says here, me after hearing about her past with other boys. I'm jealous and utterly disgusted by her actions. And again, he reposted this. Somebody tweeted it or posted it on Instagram. He reposted it. Because they're saying that she was supposedly cheating or dating a guy named Gus. Okay? So keep that in mind. Then they posted this. Imagine we were two cannibals in the late 80s who randomly met. Then we fell in love and tried to be better and start a life together. Then you died and I ate you, bones and all. He sent that to somebody June 24th of 2024. And somebody said, what the F is wrong with you, LOL. It was sent to somebody named Bree, I think. Well, somebody named Bree posted it. Very disturbing. This guy's a weirdo. Close friend's little sister from the IE ran away last year, and this is who she was with. We think her sister was pimping her out. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD swept his place in the hills. I'm terrified that's who's in the car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she was from Lake Elsinore. So again, they're saying somebody's little sister from the IE. The IE is the Inland Empire in Cali. So this is just really, really disturbing stuff. So here's some more stuff from their Discord server. They're saying it isn't speculation. It literally happened. I don't really care if you've heard nice things about him. That has no impact on my personal negative experience. Somebody else says, well, the victim is a female, wavy black hair, and a tattoo if it means anything to you. Person says, I'm really not trying to release any identifying information because it absolutely sounds like her. My heart is broken. I don't want to mess anything up regarding the investigation. I'll be reaching out to the LAPD today. This was 7 days ago. These are all a bunch of kids. A lot of them under the age of 18. It's disturbing to know that all these teenagers are kind of, keeping the secret, trying to figure out what's going on. It's so many discussions like this on that Discord. So in this video, the person is saying his whole entire chat knew he was a pedophile, joking about Epstein files and Epstein's Island. Even more evidence, the chat knows her name is Celeste, and you're telling me this has been kept secret for 3+ years. So disturbing.
He trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one.
Bye guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
And you can see kids in the chat saying her name, Celeste. So these are videos that are now popping up. And that was from January, from what this person is saying. This was January 11th, 2024. So let's watch this. This is another video of Celeste. All these videos are popping up now.
I can't forget.
Hi, how are you?
Celeste. I've been chilling, just bobbing.
I want.
I can't forget.
Hi, how are you?
Celeste. I've been chilling, just bobbing.
I want.
So this was a man named Jason the Ween. He was one of the last people seen with Celeste during a music video with David. Okay? And you heard her say, I'm Celeste. And this is the music video. Jason the Ween and David, Summer Uptown. This was 2 months ago. This girl is literally 14 years old and quote unquote, in the words that the kids like to say, living her best life. Living her best life. That's how all of these kids thought she was living her best life. She's with this up and coming rapper. And I'm sure the family was okay with it because of who he was. He was starting to blow up. No different than the R. Kelly situation. Too many people knew about this relationship for everybody to not act shocked. This is disturbing. This girl has been on a missing poster for over a year, yet everybody in this kid Discord at the high school, they see Celeste all the time with David. And no one is saying anything. And I'm not blaming the kids because with kids don't get it. They don't understand the seriousness of stuff. Their frontal cortex is not developed. So I'm not blaming any of the teenagers in the Discord or in the high school. But I'm side-eyeing the adults around this. There were adults around David as well. And people knew. On top of that, he also sang about Celeste in songs. He had songs about, he romanticized murder and all types of just really deviant, demonic stuff. So I'm going to show you guys some of that too. So now, remember when I was telling y'all earlier about the guy named Gus? And I apologize if this video is kind of all over the place. I took down my notes. I'm just trying to make sure I hit on everything. So I hope you guys are still following me. The guy named Gus. From what I gathered in the Discord, people were saying, she was supposedly cheating with Gus. I mean, I just hate the fact that I'm even having to talk about a 12, 13-year-old cheating. I hate the fact that these kids are just growing up so fast, because it's like, damn, man, when we were 12 and 13, and we weren't playing with Barbie dolls or nothing, but we weren't dealing with cheating allegations. So supposedly, again, allegedly, okay, somebody reached out to Celeste's brother, and he was saying that, that's his sister, and he brings up the Gus situation. So this Gus situation has been talked about on the internet, and somebody said that they had a conversation with the brother. I'm going to show you guys some of these screenshots from the conversation. So I'm going to show you guys it on the full screen. This is the alleged, again, take it with a grain of salt. We're going to watch this. Supposedly the boy posted, the next person to ask me about my sister is getting this fate. Leave me alone. So they're going through his stuff. So this is the conversation they had with him. So they said, dude, why does David follow you? All respect to your sister. I hate how shitty people are being. Was it really him, Jesus? All love, man. And the brother says, yes, it was him, because he found my account out of nowhere and followed me. Fuck. Well, he has it coming. That's wild. Just randomly. Did you even talk to him? The brother says, I met him once in person. So this is all being screen recorded. Then they go on to say, did your family know of your sister being with him? Like, she was living with him. All this shit is so confusing and disgusting. The brother says, I knew and went to the police about it, but lack of evidence, so it was waved off. Then the guy says, bullshit. Now that there's 1,000 people backing you up, it won't happen again. But if they had listened, brother says, even then they don't do anything. They haven't even done anything towards him. Then the person says, that's how it is with celebrities. That's how it is with celebrities. Just look at fucking Diddy. They don't do shit. Then he says, I know it fucking sucks. Fucking crazy. People suffer for it. How long has she been gone? He says, dead, 2 weeks. And then the person says, damn, that soon? People have been saying like a month. The dude is a weirdo. His songs all have weird messages and imagery. What do you think happened? Like he didn't want her to expose him being with her? Brother says, I don't know. Person says, damn. Was your sister like in love with him and choosing to stay? I'm guessing it was all him manipulating her. Then the brother says, yeah, she was always saying that he was waiting till she was 18 to get married and stuff like that. Guy says, fucking sick. That's crazy. All those people in his circle who knew and didn't say shit. I saw one guy got sued by him. I'm sure you would have too if you kept pushing. Then he said, dog, what? I never knew that. My sister wouldn't say anything ever. Then he says, dude, there's so much shit in that Discord he has. And the brother says, what the fuck? There's a Discord? He said, yeah, it was just his fan Discord and stuff. I wasn't in it, obviously, but from what I know, he recently deactivated it. And some screenshots and recordings are posting today and yesterday after the news showed one of his guys saying this. So they're saying here, at everyone, I'm in a song crisis right now. Then he says, the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas. 95% sure it's legit. Someone who was in the server before. It was locked, screen recorded, them looking up this message. and it wasn't edited or anything. Then he says, what the fuck? No fucking way, dude. Please send me more if you know, dude. He says, got you, bro. Let me find everything that's been posted for you. That's why I said so many people were after David. Now after this, they have found so much evidence to back this shit up. Dude, I never knew this shit. Only a small number of people were aware until today. Brother says, I wish I would have known. I could have used this. You didn't have your sister added on Discord. He says, I don't even have a Discord. Then they say, yeah, I just been seeing because someone took a screenshot of her account supposedly. So that was Celeste's Discord account. And you can see here, she joined in 2021 and she hasn't really been in there since 2024 because at that, and then it also has #1 fan on there as well. But at that point, you know, he was dealing with her in person. Then brother made a sad face. He says, this is what I got. So he's sending, so I believe this is real because he's actually sending a lot of the stuff that was in the Discord to this IG page. Somebody else says, Celeste in here. Celeste says, hey, David, bark. And just all types of different messages. And these are photos. Said, are those photos of her? And that song was an unreleased David song, apparently. Here's the video just proving those messages are real and stuff. And then he said, are those photos of her? The brother says, yes. He says, do you know of any of your sister's Instagram accounts? There were some messages people said was her messaging friends, but I can't really confirm it yet. So they're showing pictures of her. He's kind of showing close-ups. And this is a little girl. And he said, that's my sister, dog. And then he says, fuck, it is. You think this is real? Brother says, yes, I do. I know who Gus is. He's dead. So remember the name Gus. I told y'all about Gus. And then he says, what happened? He says, Gus got shot up dead. You think by David or just some other shit? He says other stuff. Okay. So again, you guys just heard me read the exchange between Celeste's alleged brother and, you know, somebody on his social media. Again, it's alleged. I don't know. I believe it is the brother, but you just never know with the internet, right? But I'm still going to put it out there. So now their songs, the lyrics of his songs are just weird and strange. So I'm going to pull some of that up for you. He has a song that dropped the other day called Celeste. They said that he had dropped 2 songs on her birthday. So her birthday in 2023 and 2024, he dropped a song as well. And here's some more pictures of them also. So you can see her with her face covered. Lull, calm pic. These are some of the messages. They said here, David had sex with 13-year-old Celeste amongst having matching tattoos and lying about her age in public. It cannot get any worse than this. Look. So these are some of the messages here that are coming from the Discord. Oh God. Says, I made it. It can bleed and not bleed during sex because you probably did it when you were younger. Somebody says, you don't have to bleed the first time. I didn't because I wasn't horny. They said, you said you bled. What? I thought I did, but I just got my period. I only bleed with David. Gus, I was drunk and did it because he got mad at me the first time for not having sex with him. So Gus, it sounds like was her first, I'm not going to say love, but one of the people that she had sex with. Because she says with Gus, I was just drunk and did it. He got mad at me the first time for not having sex with him. So it sounds like this is maybe like the, you know, Gus was the first person she had sex with. And so she's comparing Gus to David. And she's saying, you know, when she's with David, he's making her bleed. Maybe because he's, you know, whatever. It's just, it's sad to think about. Oh, man. Then they go on to say here, I'm just gonna check up on you. I don't want to talk to anyone. That's it. Okay, yes, of course. But you have to swear you're gonna stay safe. Are you still gonna talk to David or go back with him? Because I don't want you to go and get into any more trouble with him. She says, I'm safe. No, I'm not. Says, okay, I love you. I'll text you in about a week. Don't delete Insta. She says, love you, and I won't. And once again, that's her in the thumbnail. It's them together. Now, here's a disturbing message here. People are saying that David's bodyguard, Marky, may be willing to kill for David, and that Marky might have been sleeping with Celeste as well. Because this was in 2022. So mind you, in 2022, this girl's probably like 11 or 12. She's only now hitting 14 and she's passed away. So this was in 2022. He says, hey, Celeste, I am Y. I don't know what that means. Celeste replies back and says, hi, Marky, you did great. And then David says, facts, best bodyguard he'd kill for me. So maybe he had something to do with Gus. I don't know. Then he says here, hey, Celeste, pretty girl. And mind you, Celeste is 11, 12 years old in the server. So we're going to go through this thread really quick here. They're saying there's more context. So we're just going to play some of these clips.
22. Why am I seeing Discord messages of you and David talking to the minor? Bands, I used to bodyguard for him, bro. I was bodyguarding for him in 2022. Why am I seeing Discord messages of you and David talking to the minor? Bands, I used to bodyguard for him, bro. I was bodyguarding for him in 2022. Why am
Here's another one.
I'm here to meet a 15-year-old. Like, what the fuck you want to say, bro? Like, I'm here to meet a 15-year-old. Like, what the fuck you want to say, bro? Like,
see, these pedophilia jokes, they're not funny. You know, he's trying to be funny, but it's saying a lot. You know, at this point, who knows? You know, they could have been tossing this young girl up. She's young. She doesn't know any better. They could have been trafficking her, pimping her out. So let's go to TikTok. We're going to watch some videos. I think some of the videos have music on TikTok. Can't play too much of it, but we'll watch some of these videos.
I've just found evidence in the singer David's house that linked him to the murder of the 15-year-old girl in LA.
See them in their plain clothes, suits. We also see crime scene text. It appears to be centered at this home. Sky Cow was able to get a peek before it got dark, and we can see the garage door open. We see what appear to be crime scene text going in and out of that garage. There you see it right there. You see the door to the home open on the inside. Another Tesla with the front open right there inside the garage as well. To be clear, LAPD has not said tonight if this investigation is related to the investigation of the girl's body being found, but they are like less than 100 feet away from where it was all found. So this is all happening in the same neighborhood. We have reached out to
you guys just saw a few moments ago, we have just received more information regarding the singer David and his correlation to the 15-year-old girl that was murdered in LA, with the LAPD now confirming that they ended up searching a house that was connected to him and found several bags of evidence that linked him to the girl's murderer. As of right now, the LAPD hasn't specified what any of this evidence is, but we do know that the evidence was in stuff like computers and bags. As of right now, David has not yet spoke on any of this information, but we do know that he has already canceled multiple shows that are going on right now for his current world tour. So my best guess is that later on in the next few weeks, he is either going to speak out on this or he is going to be publicly convicted of murdering this 15-year-old girl, and things are not going to be looking good.
You go on David's YouTube channel and you scroll way at the bottom, you see a song that's called Runaway. You know, the mom came out saying that her daughter ran away when she reported her as missing. What is going on? If David is actually tied to this girl Celeste, like no joke, he's for real successful because of her. I don't know if this on some I don't even want to say it, but it's like, what's going on? This is weird. Way in 2021, Runaway, that's weird. And of course, the picture is a girl running away. The reason why I say she's the reason why he's successful is because I don't know if they tied together. If they tied together, no, innocent until proven guilty. It's like he wanted to put himself in his dark hole and mess with his head just so he can make the best type of music. Because he got the voice. He can actually really sing. He can actually really come together and make a real good song. And it's almost like he needed to feel the love for real, or feel the pain for real. What I'm about to say is about to be a little bit dark conspiracy theory, but it's almost like if they tied together and he really didn't love her, he did this to make the best type of music. All of it. He got like 5 songs on her birthday. He did a mini album on her birthday. And of course, y'all seen all of the other coincidence. Y'all seen all of the other coincidentals. This is just crazy. And that's why I say, if he's innocent, this is the biggest coincidental we ever seen in our life.
I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did. It was something that I decided to do. And I killed her in the back of my mind. But it's really more of a figurative I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind, because that's the most secure place you can be, is in your mind. So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
This is everything we know about the David situation compiled into one video. So the music video for his song Romantic Homicide was posted on the birthday of the girl that was found in his car. Which, speaking of that girl and his music videos, he has used a girl in his videos that looks suspiciously similar to the girl that was found in his car. David also has a leaked song called Celeste where he talks about being obsessed with the girl called Celeste. The girl found in David's Tesla was named, you guessed it, Celeste. There are also different photos that are released of David in person with this Celeste girl, you know, the one that was found in his car. The mom of the Celeste girl said that she was dating a guy named David before she went missing. David and the girl that was found in his car both share a matching tattoo on the same finger. There are also pictures coming out allegedly showing David paying people off to not talk about the fact that he is into younger girls. There's also the fact that the lyrics of Romantic Homicide, one of his most popular songs, kind of eerily mirror the situation that he's in now. Now, the only defense that David really had that he didn't do this was the fact that he's on tour. But the more evidence that comes out, the more that alibi kind of falls apart.
What's up, everybody? All right, you guys. So more information is coming out in the case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Now, y'all, what I find so alarming about this case is it seems like so many people knew that Celeste was underage. They knew about this alleged relationship with David. It's all in Discords. It's all on Instagram. People are now posting actual pictures that seem to be Celeste and David. But nobody came forward and said anything about this until she was found deceased. So I was able to locate her family. And we know that Celeste went missing in April of 2024, but she actually went missing in February of 2024 as well. Now, her family took to social media on February 14th and expressed that Celeste was missing. Now, shortly after, they said that she had been found. But we know that in April, Celeste would disappear again. Now, y'all, all kind of pictures have been dropping, but a picture that TMZ actually confirmed, this picture is crazy. So allegedly, this is David, and from what we know, the people in this picture say that he was paying off kids to not tell about him and Celeste's relationship. Now, when TMZ actually dug into this, they found out that this area where the picture was taken is only miles away from Celeste's family's home. Now, I've been seeing a lot of back and forth about whether he was having a relationship with this underage girl or not. And y'all, I 100% believe that he was having an inappropriate relationship with this child. Not only that, y'all, Celeste is no longer alive. She was found in his vehicle. I don't think people are grasping how serious this is. Not only that, it seems to be a lot of children involved in this case. She's talking to her friends about the relationship. Her friends are telling her they hope she leaves. He's paying off allegedly other kids in the neighborhood. Y'all, this is a grown man. Even when you look at the pictures that Celeste's mother posted when she went missing the first time, she looks like a baby. This man was doing shows, tours, streams, and you telling me not one person knew that she was missing, not one person could tell that this was a child. Now, I'm very curious as to did he introduce her to his family, because this man seemed like he was obsessed with Celeste. And the fact that all this evidence is out there of them actually having an inappropriate relationship, but it literally took social media pulling this all together for it to come out, y'all, it's crazy. Another question that I have is, who did the tattoos? Somebody had to have personally come to his home to do these tattoos. Now, let's remember, her being underage, she would have needed consent to get a tattoo at a shop. Meaning he had to have paid somebody to come do those tattoos. Not only that, if you go look up that Wildness2 account, which is Celeste's burner account, because her name was Wildness2 on TikTok and Instagram, people that she followed also followed David, or David followed them. The only thing was there was not a direct connection between Celeste and David, but y'all, they followed the same exact people. So I know for a fact that other people knew about what was going on. Now, do I believe David is the person who actually unalived Celeste? Y'all, David's tour started in August. Her body was found in September. It is not far-fetched that her body could have been in that Tesla for a few weeks. David could have had somebody moving the Tesla. He could have paid somebody to move the Tesla. Just because he was on tour does not mean he's not the person who committed this crime. Now, y'all, comment below and let me know your thoughts so far.
That is the inspiration for the song. It's insane.
David uploaded this extremely disturbing music video 10 months after Celeste went missing. If you don't know, Celeste is the 15-year-old girl who was found dismembered in the back of his Tesla. A lot of very disturbing evidence has recently come out alleging that David has had a relationship with this girl since she was 12 years old. And looking back in hindsight, that makes this music video even more terrifying because I'm sure it can be interpreted in many different ways. But if you just look at what is going on physically in the music video, it appears that there is a man dragging a body. He puts this body into the trunk of a car, and then two other people drive off with the body in the trunk, and then they continue to live their life as if everything is normal until one day they are ready and they decide to go and bury the body. The way that this is so similar to how it actually seems to be going down is insane to me, because even though David knew that there was an ongoing investigation, that his car was found, that there was a dismembered body found in it, he continued his tour, living his life similar to how these two people were in his music video. And it makes me wonder, did he ever have plans of going back and disposing of the body, and he just thought that no one was going to find her? I saw a comment that was posted under this music video today, and this person said that we really need to start questioning the type of content that people are putting out. And I agree. I have always had that thought that people who produce scary movies, people who produce all of these horrible horror things, like, what is going through your mind? What are you battling with? Like, what is your mental state that you create such darkness and then just give it out to exactly what he was doing? Let's start off with this lyric from one of his songs. He said, "I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time." Here's a picture that he put on his close friends. It is said that he would only post his relationship with Celeste on his close friends because obviously nobody could see it. And this is them together. This is a tattoo that the 15-year-old girl had on her finger. This was also posted to Instagram, and it says David. This is another Instagram story that he posted, but so cleverly he covers up her face because she is, of course, 15 years old. This is proof that for 2 years in a row, he uploaded love songs on.
Let me say this. She's not 15. She left at 13. She was only 14 years old. This girl is not 15. She is 14. And a lot of those pictures that are being posted, she's still 13.
Love songs on Celeste's birthday. Her birthday is September 7, 2010. This is a missing poster that was actually being put on Facebook and social media by her family. Now, this one's a little bit confusing because it says she was last seen February 14th of 2024, and then there's another poster that says April 2024, so I'm not sure if she had a history of running away. This is another photo from December 2023 of David and Celeste together. This is a screenshot from his Discord where someone's saying he has a girlfriend. They're pretty sure he's dating, and her name is Celeste. This is, of course, the matching tattoo that he had with her on his finger, because obviously he couldn't put her name on his finger because she's 15. Proof that romantic homicide was uploaded on her birthday. This is another picture of them together, and on this one I think they were on FaceTime with someone. The person who put this photo said, "Celeste and David, don't let me sleep." Another photo of the girl with David while they were like video chatting. Okay, so pay attention to this one. This is a photo of Celeste and David that was uploaded by a user named Lamp. Lamp said, "Hey, who's the girl?" David said, "You are a Fed." David later says, "I know that he leaked already. We're literally preparing to sue him. He's about to owe me $30,000. This is a music video that he uploaded 7 months ago, which was 10 months after Celeste went missing, and it's a very scary music video where he's basically putting a body into a trunk and then burying it. And this is in a separate video, but there's basically an unaliver standing in front of him at the edge of a bed. This is another Discord screenshot that Celeste herself apparently posted. She was replying to another girl and she posted this photo of David wearing a shirt that says "I love my girlfriend," and I'm assuming that that heart in the middle had a picture of them together as a couple. This is a tweet from May in 2022, and it is said that they were talking in 2022. He said, "When I was writing this, I got a notification from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. You said, 'Take me where I belong,' but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We got to push through it." Was he insinuating that she wanted to go home and he wasn't letting her?
So as you see, the rabbit hole goes deep and it's very disturbing. He dropped that song on her birthday. He has a song, Celeste. Everything in the video is very foreshadowing what's happening now. I think everybody knew about this relationship, including Celeste's mom. Like I said, a lot of parents are cool with their daughters dating older guys as long as that older guy has money, has some type of proximity to fame, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if she was dating, you know, the local 18-year-old drug dealer, the mom might be mad, but since it's an artist, they don't mind. Because I just don't understand how this young girl, again, he met her at 11. To me, she has way too much freedom. So it's definitely something that was going on in that household for her to just come and go. She wanted, get tattoos. She ran away several times. So it's just really sad. And she was still in contact with people who knew her, like her friends and stuff like that. You know, so it seemed like this man was obsessed with her. I also want to show another thing before I go. I know this video is probably getting long, but like I said, I went down a rabbit hole and I'm just trying to remember everything. I found this prayer page. This was really frightening because, again, people will come with different faces. David had a prayer page where he talked about Christianity and all types of stuff. And the most recent video he posted on his prayer page was on September 1st. So this was 8 days before Celeste's body was found in that truck. So we're going to listen to some of the stuff that he's saying because I was just shocked when I ran into this because his videos are so dark. But on this prayer page, he's talking all this positivity, talking about Christianity and God and Jesus. It's insane.
Just got back from performing at the Cali Uchis concert. Shout out to Cali Uchis. But shout out to Jesus too. Today I'm going to talk about imposter syndrome as a Christian, especially in my eyes, how I view it. Sometimes, especially me doing music and things like that, it kind of gets hard to kind of navigate the bridge between your faith and your flesh. And honestly, just being completely transparent, it gets a little shaky on the walk because there's so many different things going on. And we kind of can't get wrapped up in the ebbs and flows of everyday life, and we got to keep on depending on Jesus, especially in like now, like the world is crazy, like the world crazy. But I just want to say, do not lose hope, do not lose your faith. We arrive on this earth with nothing. We spend our years chasing everything, and then we're gonna die with nothing. So just make sure your spiritual hands are full before you leave this earth. Read that Bible, stay in that word, stay inspired, stay prayed up. But
imagine telling people to read the Bible, stay in the word, stay prayed up, but for years you've been smashing a girl who's between the ages of 11 and 13. You know what you're doing is wrong, and now he's trying to cover it in the guise of Christianity and being a good person. This is why I always say you got to know people by their actions, not just their words. Their actions are going to show you who they really are.
Back to the imposter syndrome thing, it's like you got to stand on what you believe in no matter what. Standing 10 toes on literally everything, bro. You cannot fold on Jesus. Jesus will not fold on you, so you cannot fold on Jesus. You might be going back to school. I know it's September now, whatever. It's August 31st, but back to school, you're going to have a lot of influences around you. Like,
and mind you, he's talking about going back to school. So you're talking to children. This man is out of school. He's 20, 21 years old. So it's very interesting that he's talking about going back to school. And Celeste's friends said they haven't heard from her since August 24th. He's saying that the date that he just said in this video was August 31st. So he might have already killed her by the time he made this video. And so he's low-key looking for prayers and, you know, I don't know, pat on the back or something.
Stay focused, bro. That's all I really gotta say for this video. It's a short one. The next video, I'm gonna talk about some more in-depth stuff. But stay focused. You don't gotta be distracted by the bro. Jesus got you. You gotta have that build a personal relationship with Jesus. Think of it like Jesus and his 12 disciples. His disciples were through all different types of walks of life. Fishermen, tax collectors, people that was like, yo, Jesus, why you hanging out with that? Why you hanging out with him? Jesus does not dwell with people that think they're overly righteous or better than the next man. So when you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, why Jesus spending time working on me? I'm not worth it. You are worth it. I'm telling you. And you gotta believe that yourself. Like I said, back to the faith. It's all about that belief. I hit the 2:30-minute mark. I love y'all so much. We're gonna keep posting on this account. Shout out to the dude at my concert yesterday that was like, yo, you gotta post on your account, because I honestly forgot. So on the off days on tour, I'm gonna be like posting and stuff. So God bless. Yeah.
I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minutes, but I just had some work.
Not the smoke detector bad. Child. Objection. Even he's a dusty with a bad smoke detector.
To share with you for 2025, despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the hurt and pain and death and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
Another one with a bad smoke detector. But, you know, all seriousness aside, the fact that he's sitting here, he has a prayer channel on TikTok where he's talking about God and Jesus and sending well wishes and prayers and all this positivity. But in actuality, he wasn't living like that. I found out that at his latest concert in July, he was bringing a coffin in to the concert. So again, like I always say, you can't serve two masters. In one breath, he's talking about God, 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 Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. In another breath, he's sleeping with a 13-year-old child, making demonic videos with, you know, romanticizing homicide, romanticizing abuse, and then bringing a coffin into his concerts. This is disturbing. Watch this video here. This was on July 30th. Matter of fact, the day after my birthday. This man is literally going from city to city, bringing a coffin with him. And again, you know, we don't know, but the friends say they haven't seen Celeste since August 24th. So she might have been alive around this time or dead. But this is very foreshadowing and disturbing that you would bring a coffin and have a funeral at your concert. But in one breath, you're speaking about God and prayers and Jesus.
Now, why the fuck would the artist do that? I love you from the afterlife.
Here goes another clip. All right, tea sippers, I think this video is probably long enough, but the whole thing is very disturbing to me. I'm going to say this. There's no reason for a grown man to ever approach, let alone be with, holler at an 11, 12, 13-year-old child. The parents definitely, I'm giving the mother the side eye. The fact that the 13-year-old had a boyfriend, had a tattoo. You know, a lot of people will pimp out their kids and don't care if there's something in it for them. Now, I don't even want to go there. But what I'm thinking, I know people are saying the whole Gus situation. Again, we don't know if Gus exists. That's one angle. But a more plausible angle to me might be that Celeste got pregnant. How many stories have I done on this channel where young girls were messing with older guys? These girls are 15, 16 years old. They get pregnant because the older guy, the idiot, who shouldn't even be messing with an underage girl in the first place, is also hitting them off raw. And then for some reason, it's like, oh my God, shocker, she's pregnant. Well, what did you think was going to happen? You're not using protection. She's not on birth control. You're sleeping with a young person, then you get shocked that they're pregnant. And so just like the two girls in Florida, they ended up missing. They found one of their bodies. And it came out that both young ladies were pregnant by the men who claimed to love them, and it was about them, and, you know, I don't want to be with my wife anymore, I love you. And, you know, of course, you know, you're in 8th, 9th grade, you're feeding into it because you don't know any better. This person is grooming you. You don't know any better. But see, the problem is once these girls get pregnant, that is proof of a crime. That baby is, because when a girl has a baby underage, and if they're trying to figure out who the father is, they will do a DNA test. And if that DNA test would have led back to David, that he impregnated a 13-year-old, it'd been hell to pay. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but that's where my mind goes, because I've seen this scenario play out several times over the years, where these older men will get with these underage girls, tell them a bunch of sweet nothings, you know, start sleeping with them, never use protection. And then when the young girl ends up pregnant, it's the young girl's fault. Now she has to be killed and discarded like trash because they couldn't control themselves and not get with the underage girl in the first damn place. So this entire situation is just really disturbing. You know, I'm sure there'll be more information coming out, but I definitely feel like he is behind this. He's left way too many breadcrumbs, and it's sad. Parents, pay attention to what your kids are doing. You got all these babies on these discords, talking amongst themselves, knowing what's going on. It's really sad. Teach your kids that fame doesn't trump anything. Just because somebody's famous or has a big following, that does not trump morals. And never compromise your morals because somebody famous is around. And again, I'm not blaming any of these kids because these are underage kids. Their frontal cortex is not developed. So I'm not blaming any of the kids in the Discord again. I'm not blaming any of the kids who took money from David. David is the adult in this situation. He knew better. He was manipulating a bunch of children. But I also feel like there's a bunch of adults who also knew about this situation, who also knew that that girl was underage and was a runaway. They said that the clothing they found, or whatever pieces of clothing they found on her dismembered body, had Hello Kitty on there. And you see David with all the Hello Kitty. Why would a grown man in his 20s like Hello Kitty? Unless you're trying to have some type of commonality, something in common with underage girls. So before I go, I want to show you guys just some of the Hello Kitty montage that I was able to find on Twitter. So it says here, looks like TikTok, David posted on February 7th of 2024, was the same day as this photo taken with Celeste Rivera Hernandez wearing the Hello Kitty Crocs. And then there's also another video that he posted in 2021. They said, keep in mind Celeste was 11 years old in 2021, which would make David 16 at the time. So this video here is from 2021. When your credit card declines at therapy and they bring in that one Hello Kitty girl you met in 2021. falling for her. This is on his personal TikTok. And you see the Hello Kitty here, Hello Kitty shirt. Her. And BFF's kitty. So same kitty chain, and that's her with the Hello Kitty Crocs because she's a child. She's about 11 years old, 12 years old here. So he even had a song about Hello Kitty. We'll listen to this snippet. And you see the Hello Kitty picture in the background, the Hello Kitty filter.
Pretty girl, Hello Kitty shirt.
Last seen in Hello Kitty sandals. Let me bring that back. Last seen wearing gray pants and Hello Kitty sandals. Here goes something else. It says a song on David's SoundCloud archive name Hello Kitty shirt. So he has a big obsession with Hello Kitty. In this video, he's basically in the shower crying and he has on Hello Kitty pajamas. Here he goes right here drinking out of a Hello Kitty cup. Another Hello Kitty icon picture. Here goes some more pictures here. He even has a Hello Kitty earring in. So this is just frightening, all of these so-called coincidences. Very disturbing. Because I wasn't even into Hello Kitty once I got into my, early 20s. Hello Kitty was high school. So the whole thing is sad. I look forward to hearing from you guys, tea sippers. Please leave a comment down below. Please share this video. Make sure you guys hit this video with a like. I want to know your thoughts on this entire disturbing situation concerning the singer David. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.